Okay, so now that I've got the left side done on the shirt, I'm ready to do the right side. Okay, so let me show you on the pattern what they've done. So what I did to mark this was I put a little snip at all three of these lines. One of them is center front, the facing line, and the fold line. So I have 1, 2, 3 little snips here, and then I have 1, 2, 3 little snips here. Before I took my pattern off, I also looked to see what else I needed to mark, and the only other thing I needed was the dot here for the medium when I put in the sleeve. I'm not going to mark buttons or buttonholes because I like to do that after it's done and decide how many I want, so I don't usually pay much attention to that. Now you remember that on the left side we had to cut this section off because we put on a separate band. But on the right side, we don't cut that off. Okay, if you look at this pattern, they've actually designed this pattern so that your fashion fabric becomes the interfacing. Okay, as you know, that is not a good idea because fabric, all it's going to do is add bulk. It's not going to give it shape and it's not going to support it that well. There's a reason that we use interfacing. It's made to go in between layers of your garment to do what it's supposed to do without adding a lot of extra bulk. Plus, on a man's dress shirt, they do not interface the right side. All they do is turn it under and put in a folded edge, like a clean finish, and then they just stitch it down. That's all they do. So that's what we're going to do. So, because if you look at your pattern, they expect you to fold this here and then fold it again. So then you've got the shirt and 2 layers of your shirt. Okay, so we're going to take that out, that interfacing area. But what we have to do is, because we still want to fold it underneath and turn it under, we're not going to cut out the entire section. We're going to cut out all of it except for 1/4 of an inch. And that 1/4 of an inch is what we'll use to turn under like a clean finish. And then when we turn it back on itself, it will sit right underneath the center front for us to put our buttons on. So what I like to do is I do my markings, and this is all cut on the straight grain, so all of those lines are parallel to your grain and to your edge. So what I'm going to do, and I've also marked the right side, okay? So I'm going to take this shirt and I'm going to fold it back on that first little snip. Okay, so where's my little snip? All right, I can't see it on this side, so I'm going to quickly just line up the pattern and do a little snip there. Okay. Yeah, I can see my other snips just fine. That one must not have, yeah, and I can see that one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold it back on that first snip, which is your fold line, if I was going to use this for interfacing, and I'm going to line that up. And what I like to do is line it up good, and I've got a stripe to follow, and I've got my pin marking the right side of my garment, so I'm just going to put that in here, and then I'm going to fold it up here as well. All right, so I'm going to press that good, and then once I get that pressed, I can trim it. So I'll just see, and I should be measuring this, except that I'm cutting it along one of the stripes so that I know, and so I'm pressing it along the stripe so I know it's on grain. Except I got the wrong stripe down there. So, okay, maybe I better measure this. Wait. Okay, there. All right, I got the right stripe now. Yeah, you have to be careful on this. When I get this done, I'm going to iron it. Iron it, and then I'm going to just check and make sure that I've got the amount that I want. Okay, that's right there. And just, I'll check this. Okay. All right, so I'm right on that line. Make sure that looks good. Check it, and Okay, that looks good. Okay, now that I've got that done, I'm gonna flip it out. So I've got a nice crease there to follow. And now I'm going to chalk a 1/4 inch, okay? And it works easier for me because I'm right-handed if I kind of fold it out like this. And I'm actually gonna do it on the wrong side, just in case on this chalk. Okay, so I'm going to go a 1/4 inch from that edge where I've done the crease. Okay, and there's that one. All right. Okay, and then I'm just going to chalk that. And this is our little chalker. You have to push kind of hard. Now the other thing I could do is, because this actually does follow a stripe, I could follow that stripe too, but I'll go ahead and chalk this so you can kind of see a few options of what to do.